All right, guys, today we got to talk about something pretty important, and I find it's something that's glossed over in the conservative and libertarian and Trump movement, and I do consider myself to be a part of the Trump movement, but I feel like it's ignored because they're too popular and they're seen as too big and too powerful. But we have these fake conservatives in our movement that we got to force out. These people are not on our side. When you look at someone like Charlie Kirk, or Candace Owens, or Ben Shapiro, all these huge names that everyone supports and loves, organizations like Turning Point USA. I know I'll catch some flack from people, even my dad, for saying this, but these people are not our friends. They are out here trying to actively destroy the movement by converting it into something that it's not. America first is what Trump ran on in 2016, and that's what carried him to victory. The populist wave of people that were tired of being treated like crap and being forgotten. Those same people have been forgotten in large part by the administration because this group of grifters in 2016 attached themselves to Trump like ticks and started feeding off of him. Since when does America first mean that we go to war in the Middle East like Ben Shapiro wants? Since when does America first mean open borders and endless immigration like Charlie Kirk wants, stapling a green card to every diploma? That's not pro-American jobs. That's not pro-American people. That's just wrong. Since when does America first mean doxing people like Candace Owens did with her career as a leftist right before she switched over and became a conservative? Since when did it mean that? It's never meant that. America first, it's the movement of the forgotten man. It's the movement of the forgotten American that saw his or her job go away, that saw his or her country erupt in flames, that saw his or her rights being taken away, and saw that they didn't matter anymore, that the new progressive wave had entered, that the technicolor of gender people mattered more than them, that immigrants mattered more than them. That's just wrong, and that's why America First won in 2016. And we can still win in 2020, and I am a Trump supporter again. For a time period, I was not. Trump is the only chance we got to beat these people. Trump isn't perfect, but who is? And we got to support him with everything we got. That being said, I am not on those people's teams. Just because I am a Trump voter does not mean I'm going to support Mr. Shapiro. Just because I'm a Trump voter doesn't mean I'm going to wave around socialism sucks, Turning Point USA signs. That's not what it means. Being a Trump supporter to me means supporting the man and supporting the idea, not supporting the gross group of people that have surrounded themselves that he has surrounded himself with. And it's not his fault. He wants to be popular. Trump wants to be liked. It's his biggest flaw. And that's okay. We all do. We're all guilty of that to some degree. But these people, they've weaseled their way into the movement. They've snuck in and they've dug their claws so deep that the name Trump, the name conservatism, to call yourself a conservative. I remember I called myself a conservative last week. Someone said, "Oh, do you like Ben Shapiro?" Since when is Ben Shapiro a conservative? I mean, come on, people. Come on. They've infected our movement to the point where when people think of the word conservative, we think of Ben Shapiro. They've infected our movement to the point that they've turned it into leftism, just with better tax plans. We will go extinct. The average American will go extinct unless we do something, unless we say no to these people and we start calling them out on their bullshit. You got to do it, and you got to do it now, because it's only going to get worse. We cannot let our movement, the movement of Trump, the movement of America First, become the movement of Ben Shapiro. We can't let it happen. We can't let it happen. People like this would love to see us go to war again. People like this would love to see us accept any and all immigrants that apply to come in. People like this would love to see hate speech censors and red flag laws, as long as they were still allowed to talk, because after all, they're the good people, right? They know what's best for you and me. They understand. They're smart. They're real conservatives. They're not the alt-right. Well, I got to tell you something. The word alt-right, the word alt-right is weird, right? On one side, it's used to describe literal Nazis, bad people, racists, actual sexists, actual homophobes, you name it, people that I'm not okay with, right? I love everybody. I accept everybody. But at the same time, alt-right is also used to describe anyone and everyone that's like, hey, if you're an American, I care about you. Let's stop the immigration for a second until we figure out what the hell is going on. Hey, if you're an American, I care about you. Let's not send you off to go die in the Middle East. Those people are deemed alt-right. That's wrong too. We got to put a stop to that. We've got to correct this language before people like Ben Shapiro destroy our party. I'm Rex Jones for Dr. Silence.